Montgomery getting a hand on that one and sends that one back out in front of the bench.
Another middle attack there by Georgia. I think it would be wise for Georgia to kind of utilize their middle attack a little bit more, mainly because of how fast it is. And I'm sure the Georgia Southern team is not used to these fast attacks from Georgia.
Tied at 1. As Maddie Lovenstein comes in to serve here for Georgia.
That's so weird that was not.
Nice high swing there by Stephanie Spencer. She did a good job kind of getting on that ball fast and hitting it right to the backcourt, making it harder for the Georgia defense to defend.
Southern here in the 4th. That one tipped back and that one falls in front of a diving Caroline Osman.
Lauren Reeker there back in the offense, doing a good job using her strengths, being as quick as she possibly can there in the middle.
Katie Bangy serving here for Georgia Southern as that one.
Looks like Amanda Doss mistimed that one a little bit. It wasn't out of system ball, but she needs to do a good job of getting her feet there to the ball, getting set, making sure that ball stays in. It's crucial at this point for these balls to stay in for Georgia.
Into the net, that one blocked down there. Jasmine Ethan, the lone senior for Georgia.
It was, yes, another looked like an unforced error, hitting that ball into the tape. Really need to make sure you get on that ball fast enough to the point where the ball is already over the net and all you need to do is hit it.
4-0 run for Georgia Southern here as part of a 5-1 lead to open the 4th. That one off the hands of Kendall Kaiser.
It looks like the issue there was that Georgia needs to get their block up, Amanda Dox and Jasmine even a little bit faster in order to kind of cut their defense a little bit of slack there, because the defense really does start at the net with the block. The blockers are meant to kind of take away a little bit of the backcourt, making it an easier job for the defense to defend the spots that they're at. So it's all really a team effort.
Georgia Southern in the timeout here. Georgia calls it. We'll be back to Athens in a moment on the SEC Network.
We're all experienced broadcasters, but sometimes we need a few pointers.
Imagine your spine is attached to the chair. You're holding a towel under your armpits, eyes on the teleprompter. Don't look up to see the highlights, look through the highlights.
2 anthems, 4 battle cries, and 8 quarters of star power. Take everything you've ever loved about Monday night and double it. 1 Monday, 2 Monday nights. Eagles Falcons at 6:55. Vikings Niners at 10:15.
So as you can see, this trend is going to continue, and moving forward, we need to be aware of it. Late. Again.
A 5-0 run here of late gives Georgia Southern a 6-1 lead as we head to out of the timeout here in this 4th set. Caleb Frady and Lauren Techniff with you here from the Ramsey Center in Athens as part of the Georgia Challenge. Teams from across the state competing here at the Ramsey Center this weekend over the Labor Day weekend.
Yes, not only is this tournament an important one just for Georgia's schedule, but also because all these in-state rivalries really give all of these teams a chance to kind of get a leg up on the competition within Georgia.
Didn't make any sense. No.
Georgia just trying to get something going here.
It was an overpass, wasn't it?
Cassidy Anderson on the serve there. That was a big dig out, and that was a fall out wide.
Yes, that was a really, really great shot by Megan Spencer, hitting that sharp cross court. She's a lefty right side hitter, so that's probably the hardest shot for her to hit, mainly because she has to kind of contorting her body in a way where she's pushing her wrist away. It's not always her most powerful shot, but it worked in her favor.
Southern just about ace there on that one as Stevens got the first touch in that one. Comes screaming past her. And Georgia, a little bit of momentum here, and that's what you got to do early here, set the tone.
They are, yeah. It looks like they're starting to climb back a little bit, all starting with the serving by Cassidy Anderson. Staying calm and controlled back there.
It's the sophomore Anderson. Just about aced, and there's Georgia point. Once the whistle there, we saw the official wave his hand forward.
Yeah, actually, Katie Bangy on Georgia Southern, just the ball came a little bit too fast for her, and she hit it out of bounds, so.
Oh, Diggers at the net. That one a big block by Desiree McCray. Getting a piece of that one. Southern, there's McCray again. 2 straight blocks on this volley. Southern able to get it over that Georgia block. Just Megan Spencer. That one. Just a prayer that gets back over and whistle. Georgia, I think, in the net there.
They were, yes. Georgia was in the net there. It looks like the right side. Megan Spencer, but Desiree McCray did do a really good job defending that net for Georgia's defense back there.
She got a kill. Are you kidding me?
Here's Stephanie Spencer. Another big kill. And a response by Desiree McCray.
It's really important for Georgia right now to kind of involve their middles like Jasmine Wheatman and Desiree McCray in the offense because it's going to keep the blockers on Georgia Southern honest. They're not going to know where that ball is going to be set by Kendall Kaiser, whether it's the outside, the middle, or the right side.
Spencer on the first touch. They're going to fight for it there at the net. And Desiree McCray, all 6'2" of her, will win that battle.
That was a really good job of Desiree McCray reading that setter and where it was going to go. As you can see, Amanda Daxon jumped a little bit early with that setter, but Des did a good job keeping that defense under control of the net.
Outside attack, and there that time. Catherine Murray.
Yeah, Catherine Murray did a good job seeing that hole, and she didn't necessarily power through it, but she placed it just where she needed to, hitting it at the top of her swing, right in front of Delabera on Georgia's Cassidy Anderson.
Georgia able to get a tie there for just a moment and an ace on the serve there for Georgia Southern. A little bit of positive momentum for the Eagles.
Yeah, as you can tell, Georgia Southern is still playing on their confidence right now, beating up 2-1 and up 2 points in this set right now.
We talked about how Georgia would respond, not being in this position all season. Got to win this set to force 5. Georgia hasn't played more than 4 sets all season, and coming into tonight had only dropped 1. Seem to be responding with a little bit of fight here in the 4th.
They do. I think they know what's on the line right now is that their perfect season right now, being undefeated, is on the line, and they need to understand that every single point in this game counts. Looks like Des scored, yeah, just by the Georgia Southern defense. Barely touching it, but point falling in Georgia's favor.
Desiree McCray has gotten much more active here in this 4th set. See her in on part of that block there at the net, joined with Kendall Kaiser. Georgia ties it again.
And it looks like Catherine Murray just mistimed that a little bit. The set might have been a little bit inside, more than she expected it to be.
That one wide. And Georgia with his first lead here of this 4th set. That gets the Georgia bench up and going.
It does. It looks like so far Georgia's responding in the way that they should be, realizing that, like I said, every single point matters at this time in the game.
Take a look at number 4 here.
Yes,
Get
Stephanie
these highlights
Spencer
going
for Georgia Southern is still doing a very good job. She's been consistent throughout the entire match, being very efficient on her offense. There, as you can see, hitting through the block, always finding the appropriate place to put the ball on the court in order to make things very difficult for Georgia's defense. Seems to be covering all parts of the court there, so I'm sure that Georgia Southern's going to look to her to be scoring their points at this point in the match.
She had all the highlights.
Spencer with 19 kills here easily leads the way for Georgia Southern. Two other players are tied at 7. So she has really taken over offensively for the Eagles. As good little crowd on hand with us here at the Ramsey Center for Georgia's first matchup of the Georgia Challenge here this weekend. So we'll have 2 games for you tomorrow, Mercer and Georgia Tech, and then Georgia, not part of the Georgia Challenge, but taking on Syracuse here on Sunday afternoon. We'll have all of those games for you here on the SEC Network Plus. Georgia Southern calling that timeout here. What are they talking about? They've certainly shown they can hang with Georgia for sure.
Absolutely. Right now, I'm sure that Georgia Southern is just looking for something to calm their nerves a little bit and to find the go-to player, as they found right there with Megan Chevalier. They knew that switching up that offense a little bit, they've been setting outside a lot, but sometimes all it takes is a little bit of a switch up there on the offense, and it worked for them.
This one's still back and forth here in this fourth set as Georgia will take the point. It's really been Georgia Southern that has been the better looking of the two teams here tonight, really. Georgia won that first set 25-20, but then Southern smoked the Dogs there 25-17 in the second, and then won a close one 25-23 in the third.
They did. I think that Georgia Southern did a really good job finding Georgia's weaknesses there, which, as you can see in that last hit, is their deep attacks. Georgia Southern needs to do a good job focusing on hitting that ball deep, because Georgia's defense is kind of creeping into the court a little bit, making them unable to play those balls.
See number 3, Kristen Curry, back home here in Athens this weekend. There's Stevens on the serve for the Eagles. And the tip, Stevens will touch it back row. Doc's diving in for Georgia there. Here's Lovenstein. Guess who? There's Spencer for the Eagles. Spencer, that's going to set up Beecher. She's just trying to get that one back over. Sets up the attack. There's Beecher again. And Georgia Southern with the point there, as it looks like Georgia thought they had got the point, but that was blocked back in.
Yeah, it looks like that was a difficult thing to see, but it looks like it fell on the Georgia Southern side, but it is ultimately up to the referee. There really is no arguing with the final decision, so that was Georgia Southern's point.
I wonder if you look back at that one and wonder if that was a difference maker here for Georgia. You got to respond. And Georgia Southern going to seize that momentum quickly with a kill.
It is, yes. Georgia Southern's doing a really good job of being resilient here and kind of pushing ahead, not even really playing the scoreboard. Yes, they know that they are ahead, but it was a close game, and I'm sure pressure was felt on both sides of the net.
They don't say it.
Stevens again to serve here for the Eagles. It's a 3-0 run for Georgia Southern. Stevens, that'll set up Spencer. What a weapon she is on the outside, even when the play doesn't develop the way you want it to. She's just there to make a play.
It is. You can tell she's a very, very athletic outside hitter.
There's the redshirt senior, Jasmine Eatman, coming to life there at the right pin.
Yeah, it was a quick reaction there by Jasmine Eatman on the front court. She had to really get off the net fast and kind of see where that ball was going to be able to score on the other side of the net. She did a good job of finding that spot.
See how much better you do for the last 10 times.
Oh, two-hand dunk back over the net. Jasmine Eatman, that's 2 straight for her.
Yeah, once again, Jasmine Eatman did a good job reading that pass. You realize that it's coming over the net. You need to get your feet set and your hands up as fast as you can. And that she did a good job on.
Low jig there by Stevens. And Stephanie Spencer
No one touched it.
reminds Georgia she's still out there with a kill.
Yeah, with the type of player that Stephanie Spencer is, you can really tell that she's going to be aggressive in every situation, regardless of where that ball is. So she's really showing how important she is to this Georgia Southern team right now.
Georgia nearly probably will be ace there as that low dig just sent it sky high, and Georgia didn't have much of a second opportunity on it.
It was, yeah, Georgia needs to do a good job of kind of slowing down their passes. They need to make sure that they're getting their feet to the ball on that serve receive, because on that last one you could tell they were kind of reaching for it, which caused it to shoot up at the net. For Kendall Kaiser to have kind of a hard time getting that ball up for those hitters, but what they really need to focus on is just kind of resetting their feet, staying balanced, and focusing on where that serve is going to go.
Freshman Jocelyn Morrow in the serve here. There's a block middle of the net. Lauren Riekert.
Really good job by Lauren Riekert seeing that ball. It's always a little bit harder to block when back row hitters are attacking, like Amanda Dox was there, because the distance from the net to where the hitter is a lot further. You have to do a good job of kind of lining up with that hitter as that middle blocker did.
3-point lead for Georgia Southern here in a must-win set for Georgia. Anderson is getting a workout there on the back row for Georgia. And a misfire there by Spencer. As that one grabs the pin.
That was a good job by Georgia's defense keeping that ball off the floor. And it worked out for them because, as you saw, Stephanie Spencer kind of hit that one into the antenna. She probably let it get outside of her body a little bit.
Wiping up a little more perspiration here off the floor as sophomore Maddie Lowenstein gets set. Two-point lead for Georgia Southern. Right pin attack there. We've seen that side be really successful for the Eagles tonight. This time, Katie Bangy.
It is. That's a good job by Georgia Southern, realizing that Georgia's going to have a difficult time putting up a double block on that right side hitter, Katie Banky, because that set is so fast.
It was a nice pass.
And it looks like, too, Georgia was really heavy to that other side, expecting that hit. Left a lot of open space there for her to find a spot.
Yes, I'm sure right now Georgia's defense on the net, their blocking, is really trying to key in on Stephanie Spencer right now, realizing that she has been getting majority of the hits. So it isn't unusual that a blocking setup would be for them to kind of go a little bit more towards the hot hitter at that time. So it was a good move by Georgia Southern, setting away from that.
Jasmine Ethan answers back.
Really good save there by Kendall Kaiser. You could see that pass was just a little bit tight, but she knew what she needed to do in order to get that ball up just in the right spot for Jasmine to be able to get that kill.
Georgia with an ace there on the serve. That one came right in at Avery Stevens.
Yes, it looks like Avery Stevens had a hard time moving out of the way of the line of that ball. You can tell sometimes the serve comes on a little bit too fast, and she intended on moving out, letting that ball fall out of bounds, but it did hit her.
Georgia, with the opportunity to tie there, will send the serve wide. Georgia Southern with a 2-point lead again here. And it's been the go-to here tonight. Stephanie Spencer on to serve. Anderson with a nice dig. Clock back, still alive. Georgia almost gave up on it a little too early there. And that time, Desiree McCray answers back from hit. Georgia let down a little bit there, thinking it had fell in.
It is. That's another thing. It's a frustrating part of the game, as you saw. Georgia Southern did a really good job keeping that ball in play, keeping it available for them to get that point. You really can't rest at any point in time. They say you're not supposed to stop until the whistle is blown.
Georgia back within one here. That one off the hands of Elma Ford.
Looks like Kristen Curry is back on the court in the middle for Georgia Southern. They have a strong front row right now.
She's made some noise here at times tonight.
She has. As long as Georgia Southern gets a good quality pass, I'm sure they'll improve her on the offense.
Norman just falls off the Georgia hands there, drops in for the point. And Georgia will call timeout to talk it over.
Yeah, it looks like there's a lot of hesitation there. Ultimately, that ball is Kendall Case's responsibility as a setter, getting that second ball, but it doesn't hurt if another player steps in and tries to keep it off the floor. Really, at this point, it's anything to keep the ball alive for Georgia.
Uncharted territory here so far this season on Georgia. You take a look at one of our difference makers here tonight, Lauren Reichert.
Yeah, Lauren Reichert has done a really good job being efficient in the middle. The middle is one of the positions that is the fastest, and she does a really good job being quick both offensively and defensively for Georgia Southern.
As you take a look at the 6-foot freshman from Wrightsville, Pennsylvania.
I'm sure that she's going to become more of a piece of this offense late in this fourth set now that Georgia Southern kind of has the leg up on Georgia right now, being up 3 points. They're going to try to involve a couple more of their hitters instead of just setting to the outside over and over again. I'm sure that Georgia Southern is looking to mix up their offense a little bit and kind of try to keep things difficult for the Georgia defense.
Lauren, you've been in these practice drills where I'm sure you've practiced this before. You're down, it's a must-win set. You're down, got to string some points together here. What's the mindset like? What are you going to focus on?
The mindset right now is you're not meant to play the scoreboard at this point. You need to pretend that the score is all evened up and you're just going to play as hard as you can. There's really nothing more you can do than just kind of be as physical and aggressive as you can at this point.
Here's Alex Beecher on the serve for Georgia Southern. And there's the homecoming kid, Kristen Curry.
That was a big block.
Yeah, that was
Kristen Curry did a good job waiting on that. As you can see, they were waiting for that block, trying to time it up perfectly, where she did a good job denying Amanda Dox on that hit.
We've seen the floor have to get lined up several times here tonight. A lot of perspiration
Yes,
in here.
you can tell. You can tell that both of these teams are giving a great amount of effort right now, and that's probably why they're having such a difficult time trying to keep the floor as dry as they can. There's a lot of sweat being shed here.
Beecher on the serve again. Georgia Southern leading by 4.
Really good reaction by Amanda Dox there.
And the whistle looked like Georgia had that one defended well. Nice job by Georgia to get the point.
It was, yeah, Amanda Dox right there giving that all-out effort. I'm sure after that dive, they're going to have to wipe the floor again.
And breaks the 3-0 run there for Georgia Southern. Big kill, there's the 4. That one gets
Big
back
by
over.
Elvercourt there.
That one blocked and falls in on the Georgia side, Cavalier.
Really good job by Megan Cavalier, muscling through that Georgia block. Really great dig there, as you see by Elvercourt, but Georgia Southern had the answer from their right side, Megan Cavalier there.
Georgia Southern inching closer to breaking the dry spell against the Bulldogs. Big reach over the net there by McCray, and Georgia gets the whistle.
What actually happened there was the libero on Georgia Southern realized that she was in front of the 10-foot line. And as a libero, the one with the opposite jersey, realizes is that you cannot set with your hands. It's a rule in volleyball that you can't set with your hands if you're standing in front of the 10-foot line. Otherwise, the hitter would have to stay on the floor to hit that ball.
The barrel cannot set with your hands.
Georgia needs every point that it can muster, so it'll certainly take it. Georgia Southern still just playing fast, and that went off the hands of Elma Ford.
Georgia's having a really hard time defending the quick offense that Georgia Southern is bringing to the court right now. That last kill by Katie Bainey on the right side.
Two more points for the Eagles.
It's always hurt.
Right now, Georgia's thinking, you know, we have to stay in this, we have to do this. do whatever we can, but Georgia Southern feels pretty confident now, being 2 points away from their first win.
And the Eagles have responded. Each time Georgia's been able to put some positive momentum together, the Eagles just push right back. There's Georgia with a little bit of attack there from that left pin.
Yeah, I'm sure right now Georgia's going to be looking for any key player at this point in their game to score the ball for them. And any place in the court. Right now they have a strong offense with Jasmine Eaton, Maggie Wildenstein, and Megan Spencer, so we'll see how they can defend this ball from Georgia Southern.
They never once said Stephanie Spencer, Megan Spencer. Here's
Taser. OJ there for Georgia Southern. Stephanie Spencer puts it on the back row, and it is match point.
Stephanie Spencer from Georgia Southern does a really good job of finding any place on the court, really. She doesn't really have one specific tendency of where she's hitting the ball. She can hit that ball cross court, deep corner, and line. So she's a very big part of this game right now.
Big tip is that one. Lifted over. Here's Amanda Docks keeping it alive. Fired off the hands of the diving play there on the back row.
Good swing there by Maggie Wildenstein, showing how aggressive she can be from that left pin. She's keeping Georgia in this match right now.
Still a 3-point gap and match point for the Eagles.
in the net or something like that.
Georgia wiping up a little bit more sweat there right in front of the net.
Georgia Southern.
Yeah, it is really important to kind of make sure that you wipe up all of that sweat because you don't want them to lead to any injuries from sloppy play or
They did their own.
not cleaning it all up. So they're doing a good job.
Off the net, and Georgia Southern breaks the streak. Winless against the Bulldogs prior to tonight, and the Eagles soar up from Statesboro and defeat Georgia 3-1 here tonight. The first win in program history against the University of Georgia. And boy, Georgia Southern played with a lot of athleticism tonight and really pushed tempo when Georgia made the Bulldogs uncomfortable.
They did. Georgia Southern did a really good job playing on their strengths and exposing Georgia's weaknesses. And as you can see, it worked out in their favor. Their first win in history against Georgia.
Georgia's first loss of the season. So for Lauren Techniff, I'm Caleb Frady, saying so long from Athens, Georgia. Final score: Georgia Southern defeats Georgia 3-1. Watch this game on replay as well as our other games on our family of ESPN networks. Log on to watchespn.com or download the Watch ESPN app. This has been a presentation of the SEC ESPN Network.
Okay. That's sweet.